Hey, I'm Pat B.
I'm Jere Pilapil.
And this is the Geek Down on Disrupt Boston.
Leaping forward bionically.
See, now there's a thing to kick in.
Yeah.
But you know what's messed up? I'm not getting the sound through the earphones. Brother.
Yeah, I don't know if there's music, but I'll bop along to something. There's like
the perpetual audio going through your head.
Yeah.
Is he just that funky? Or is he having a stroke? All right, we're doing a thing. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Geek Down right here on Disrupt Boston. I am Pat B. On the side of me, you may notice an actually different presence right here. He's not quite as black as Black Adam Willis. Of course, we're talking. What's going on? All right, of course, we're talking about Jere Pilapil.
Hello, what's up?
I'm doing okay, brother. Welcome back.
Thank you.
Adam Willis is out with influenza, so, it's okay. We're going to hold down the fort because we have an awesome show for you.
Hell yeah.
Yep.
Always do.
My man here got to check out WWE Elimination Chamber.
As always.
Okay, now, is it one of those ones that warrants the energy I'm giving it right now, or is it one of those, Elimination Chamber?
I would say half of it is. Half of it deserves that energy, and half of it does not.
Okay.
So,
all right. So,
it's a mixed bag.
And half, stroked out here. It's like, WWE Elimination Chamber.
Yeah.
That is awful, and I'm going to hell for it. All right. But no, dude. I'm anxious to hear about this one, man.
All right.
Ronda Rousey doing stuff.
A little bit of stuff, yeah.
Oh.
Not a ton of stuff, but a little bit of stuff, yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, what about who was up? Was the Miz in full force here tonight?
He also not full force either.
Really?
Yeah.
Dude, you are breaking my heart here,
I know.
man.
Do you want to get into it now? Or do you want to start with the movies?
No. That's just an appetizer. That's just a wet show whistle. We'll get into that in a little bit.
Okay.
But also, we have lined up Alita Battle Angel.
Ooh.
Yeah, this is the new James Cameron picture based off of an anime. This is from about 20 years ago.
Yeah, it was like the late 80s, I think.
Yeah, but they've been trying to make it since the early thousands. Or
James Cameron
1990s.
got the rights right after Titanic, I think. So it's been that long. I'm not joking.
No, I believe you.
Yeah.
But I'm just laughing at. We could have had everything gone smoothly.
Yeah.
We could have had Leonardo DiCaprio. And Kate Winslet as battling android robot motorball.
He had to make blue people
gladiators.
first.
That could have been tight.
Yeah.
Yeah, the blue. We don't talk about that. That's some jobs. You know what? Had he put as much effort into the graphics in this as he did in Avatar,
Yeah.
I think Alita Battle Angel could have been the next wave. And I say that knowing that, one, it wasn't a bad-looking movie.
No, it was not at all.
Yeah, and two, the look, the aesthetics of this picture has been one of the biggest points of controversy over the last several months, and we're talking amidst entire blow-ups involving representation.
Yeah.
And appropriation. You cast in Scarlett Johansson as ultra Asian actresses. It's like, what's going on? And this one was at the forefront because it's like now you can't even find an Asian actress to give a role to. You got to go to computer animation. Come on, Jay.
Yeah.
Get your head in the game. No, it's perfectly okay because we're gonna get in that in just 1 second. Because, dude, I did not hate this movie.
No, I didn't either. I liked it.
Okay, see, I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah.
I walked in there just ready to spew the vitriol was coming. It was the bile was in the throat.
Yeah, I was kind of expecting some real mediocre stuff, and I was mostly there because I knew that we had to do it for this one, but also a friend was going, so I was like, kill two birds with one stone.
Oh, so you gonna make it seem like, I gotta do my civic duty, and so it's like, man, you had a group already going, and before nobody.
Okay, well, I'm not high expectations going in. I love Robert Rodriguez movies, but I was like, it doesn't look fantastic on the trailers.
You're right.
Yeah,
and you're kind of wrong. I will say. Oh, actually, hold on a second. Let me finish the announcements first, and then
right.
we'll get into this because we got stuff to say.
Yeah.
But also, dude, one I am so happy we got to see. And I was jazzed about this, and I was hoping we could have the whole crew here in full force.
I know.
And they all let me down. You jive, motherfucker. No, no. People couldn't make it due to illness. There's a lot of stuff going around right now. Adam actually did have a work emergency he had to cover.
My cap was on my chest, and I was late.
Yeah, that. Come on. I'm saying, you can't be moving cat slaw willy-nilly. That's serious business.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hope that's not the real reason. That's
no, that was not.
I'm about to say, yeah. But no, dude. Happy Death Day is one of the not just unexpected hits of the last couple years, but also one of our favorite reviews here on the Geek Down because we all were ready to hate this picture. and we all had a great time. If you can find the record there, go back. If you're on our SoundCloud, go back and listen to the Happy Death Day Geek Down reviews and see how blindsided we were. Well, the sequel has just come out. Happy Death Day to you. Happy Death Day to you. Man, I'm anxious to talk about it. You know, we got a good show lined up. We have all that fun stuff lined up for you. But first, I want to hear your opinion, proper like, on Alita Battle Angel.
I thought it was a great looking movie, and I thought the story could have been slimmed down. Like, I think the main thing I would have against it is that there were too many plot things going on, and they were trying to set up a sequel too much. But like as like a standalone movie, it was very good. It was like a good like movie. I would watch it again.
Okay, so now I agree with you on that point. But I knowing how much they actually they did trim down from the comic. This I think was possibly a best case scenario where it didn't feel like they robbed the story of anything. You know, I got who she is. I got where she comes from. I got her actually doing stuff. This wasn't like a really emo, sad origin story.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah,
and it could have been. It was like it was teetering on that line for a little bit.
But there was a lot of her fighing and like kicking ass.
Yes,
and, you know,
there was. You know, the only thing I regret about that, I can't even say I regret. I guess I'm a little upset about. Is if well, first of all, have you seen the comic at all?
I have not. You know, I was the day before I saw the movie. I was like, I'm gonna let the movie sell me on the comics, and it kind of did. I'm like, I will pick them up while they're still on sale. You know, to promote the movie.
All right. Well, I'm
glad you want to learn.
Well, I'm glad you just said what you did, because when you do read the comics, comic, like the movie is PG-13. That's to sell tickets to larger audiences. They got the young girl starring, even though she's a robot, and you know they make that work. The book is raw.
All right.
Like, you are going to see some stuff. It's gore. It's like dismemberment. It's just like anger.
Nice.
Good. It's just, yes. It's everything you would expect from an 80s comic.
All right.
To life.
From an 80s manga.
Think about the days when The Punisher was seen as, you know what, my 7-year-old can read this. Why not? It's a funny book, right? Yeah, and it shows in that, and the movie waters a lot of that down, which you think would take away from the enjoyment of this picture. But then again, I think by doing that, they were able to reach a wider audience. So I can forgive them on this.
Totally, yeah.
You know, and if they do a sequel, I would like to see them give it the Deadpool treatment.
And what way?
The Deadpool treatment, where they release a sequel with what do you call it, with the different rating.
Oh yeah. Okay.
So I mean, I guess Deadpool did it kind of in reverse. They released the R-rated movie and then released the PG-13 version, so everyone could enjoy it. Well, this one you have. You have the regular version, but I'm hoping they shot enough footage to do like an unrated version, like a Blu-ray release or something.
I mean, you know, Robert Rodriguez would like go wild on this kind of stuff.
Well, that's the thing. I was afraid this dude has lost step, because for so long he's been doing what is it? Spy Kids type stuff.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm not taking anything away from Robert Rodriguez. I do remember really liking Robert Rodriguez back in my youth, a long time ago. But that's the thing, that was a long time ago. You know, Scorsese's not making new relevant mafia pictures. True. You know, Woody Allen's not. Well, actually, no, he's still doing exactly the same stuff that was getting him in trouble back then. But it's like people change, people evolve over time. You know, Tarantino does pretty much the same work, but now because the dynamic has changed, he doesn't have access to the same people that he used to. You know, there's no one to check him, so he's still Quentin Tarantino doing like those awesome action movies we've seen.
They're more mature and slower, and like he's willing to lay into those long.
But that's the problem. Because they're verbose. And they can see that things run on too long, and no one's there to tell him, "Yo, tone it down, and you'll have a hit." And just let the man. You gotta rein it in. You gotta give them those bounds.
Right. I felt that about The Hateful Eight, but I like Inglourious Basterds a lot. But Alita Battle Angel.
That's what I'm getting at, because this being done by Robert Rodriguez, he suffers from the same affliction. I felt. And after seeing Grindhouse. He did Planet Terror. Half of the Grindhouse presentation with Quentin Tarantino.
Right.
And you see, he's still got the juice in there somewhere. It's just he's been out of that realm for so long. Right. I was afraid that was going to be a fluke. That was lightning striking. And this wouldn't be, especially at a PG-13 rating, a Robert Rodriguez quality caliber film. I was wrong, dude. I'm man enough to admit it right here today on the Geek Down. Pat B was wrong, y'all. That's right. I throw myself on the mercy of the court. The Lord have mercy. The have mercy out of Flip Mode's wall. The have I don't know.
We'll hold off on your sentencing for now.
Thank
a
you,
lot of people wrong about this movie. So,
oh man, if anyone's not familiar, break down the story for us, will you please?
Okay, A Belated Battle Angel. It starts with Christoph Waltz playing. It's weird that he didn't get more like a guff for like playing a character with a Japanese name that they don't explain at all. But anyway,
well, no, the way I look at it is because so much of this was CG. That's like the one thing they can use to get away with this.
True.
It's not a picture that was lacking in Asian casting specifically. It's that everything was CG except for the chosen few main characters.
Yeah. So he plays Dr. Ito, who's
Dyson Ito.
Yes, he's like a mechanic of some kind for robotic parts in this future dystopia after a war 300 years ago between Mars and Earth, I guess.
Yeah, he's somewhere between doctor and mechanic because like half the folks in this world are
half
cybernetic.
robot. Yeah. So he finds Alita, a brain and a little bit of a torso.
She was like, think about like anytime any Predator movie you've seen.
Yeah,
you know when he rips the head and like top of the top half of off and the spinal cord just hanging. That's her. That was her.
Yeah. So he finds her and he fixes her up and gives her.
The Predator just like he picked her up and the Predator picked him up behind him. Sorry, I'm stupid.
No, that's good. He fixes her up, gives her a body, and she learns how to live among humans, basically. And there's a sort of murder ball kind of sport that's very popular that she gets into as a way of getting back to this utopian city in the sky that everybody wants to go to.
Now, the Cloud City was called
Zalem, something like that?
Yeah, Zalem, I think.
Yeah,
and it's like their world is the futuristic dystopian slum city.
Yeah.
Above their world, elevated, which we never actually see. In the comic, it's a little more, it's a little more visible.
Right.
And in this, it's just kind of like that thing that's off at the other end of the chains that you never really get a good look at. This is the future utopia that everyone's promised. The promise you do good enough at work down here, and you may earn a spot up there. And I think we all know how these stories go, man. You ain't getting up there.
No.
Down.
Yeah. There's a lot of people who are like, I'm going up there because I know a guy, I'm connected. And like that's the motivation for a lot of the bad guys who turn out to not really, they wind up being sympathetic because of that.
Yeah, just imagine there's that angle of it, but there's also a lot of douchebags in nice clothes.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, baby, you want to get up there?
Yes, exactly. It's the other side.
You know a guy, I'm connected. I got you. Just, come back to my van real quick.
Yes. Yeah, that's Mahershala
Ali. Yeah.
Mahershala Ali's character.
Oh, don't mispronounce that.
I know. I'm trying not to. But he's great.
Mahershala Ali. Yo, that dude. Where the hell was he?
Yeah.
Because this brother he is on fire. Okay.
Yeah.
He was Cottonmouth in the first season of Luke Cage. Great job.
Yeah.
In Moonlight. He was. Dude. The man is acting talent personified.
I know. Just out of nowhere, he's Oscar nominated currently.
Yeah, that's brilliant.
Green Book, even though I like this movie better.
You like this better than Green Book? All right, that's just racism talking right there, yo. Actually, I will say though, for as good as he is, and as much as I've liked his work, he's wasted in this.
Oh yeah,
he's completely
it's
wasted.
a very small role.
It is, but you'd think because of the nature of the role itself, he's flexing acting chops, and this would be like a small but poignant performance. Instead, it was a small but snooze-worthy effort.
Yeah,
I guess he tried.
Yeah, he got to get brain controlled for a little bit, which is like playing two characters a little bit, But yeah, there's not much to praise him for here.
It's kind of like
very workmanlike.
James McAvoy in Split.
Yeah,
he had the different personalities, and he switched from one to the other. This was like the Diet Coke version of that.
Yeah,
or even better, like the Crystal Light version of that. So it's like it's also going to leave a bad taste in your mouth. But no, that's okay. That's the thing that we shouldn't gloss over.
Yeah.
The different people that star in this, very unexpected.
Yeah.
I was gonna spoil one. I won't.
Okay.
But one I was hoping we'd see more of, and we really didn't. Just kind of comes out of nowhere. But Ed Skrein is a dude that for some reason keeps popping up on this show.
Yeah.
You know, he's not a spectacular actor, but he's not a bad actor.
No.
He's just one that, by all rights, if there was more justice in the universe, he would be the most forgettable person ever. Seriously,
Yeah.
just some dude, you know, who you know, stole your locker at the gym one time, and that's it. You know, he's a guy you want to walk away and have bad stories about.
He's very much like a bully-looking guy. Like, he looks like he would have beaten you up in high school or whatever. Yeah.
That's who he is. That's just his personality, his persona.
Yeah.
And you know what? He can't help his genetics. You know, if anyone doesn't know who we're talking about, Ed Skrein, he was the I guess main antagonist, even though there was a few in Deadpool, the movie we mentioned a few minutes ago.
Yep.
He played Ajax. If you've ever seen the Transporter TV show,
Yes. Yeah.
he starred in that, and also in Transporter Refueled, the 4th movie. He's a guy who, I mean, he takes his work seriously, and he throws himself into every performance. The thing is, he's just like, I don't know, he's like Bradley Cooper before the 18.
Yeah.
You know, he's Ryan Reynolds before Van Wilder. You know, he's a guy who you can tell he's got talent in there somewhere, but everything he's done up until now has been kind of forgettable.
Yeah.
You know, but he did I think, great job in this.
Yeah.
We can't mention him without mentioning the CG in this picture.
Yeah, he's made to look basically like his body's like 90% robot, and his face is all that's left. Really.
Yeah, this pretty buff.
Yeah.
And they even mentioned it in the movie.
Yeah.
I love that like we see. Okay, so yeah, naturally the pretty dude's gonna be the one where his entire body is cybernetic. He's gone full on Terminator, but you got to make sure that pretty face stays intact. And they even mentioned in the movie, it's like, yeah, you spend all your money on like the facial.
Yeah.
It's like they got you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got that character right.
Like they cast him just to make that show.
Yeah.
But you know what? It was actually a good job in this, and the CG, dude. What is your opinion on the CG?
I thought the effects were fantastic. Like, nothing sticks out as, like, you know, there's no, like, bad CGI that, like, sticks out like a sore thumb. Everything looks like it belongs to the same world. Even, like, Alita herself, who's like roughly like 15-year-old girl with like giant anime eyes, looks like she belongs in this thing, even though she's supposed to also stick out a little bit.
Yeah, that's the thing that surprised me the most.
It's like
because
that's a balance that's difficult.
And they did it like phenomenally. This is remarkable because this, I think, I mean, despite all the bad press and you know, weird reviews it's gotten since that first trailer appeared, I think in June of 2018.
This is a while ago, yeah.
Yeah, so long ago, and everyone's like, well, I'm not looking forward to this crap. I can't, this Trek is going to come to the screen.
Yeah.
They're doing the thing with the eyes. And you know what? The eyes was a weird touch.
Yeah.
But you listen to interviews with some folks in the actual production, find out that was just done. I mean, it's still a weird choice that they made, but it was done specifically to make her stand out. Everyone else, including the people who are cyberneticized in this world, all look like regular people. She's the only one that's not human with cybernetics. She's completely android, and that was done to set her apart, not make her like, you know, drastically different, but just give her something that's just abnormal enough that you don't lose that.
Right.
And the eyes, as goofy as they looked in those first trailers, I think they toned them down over the last few months. And I think it worked really well because it's like at times you stop seeing them and you just see her, and then she'll have like a close-up scene with dude and she's crying, and it's like, oh yeah, okay, I remember now, you know.
Yeah, they're also very emotive, and you can, you know, get into them a little bit more.
That too, dude. They captured real emotion. Like, what kind of Skynet business is going on here?
Yeah.
Because I keep flashing back to Tron.
Oh yeah,
Tron Legacy.
Oh right, yeah.
And I think that was one of the first big. I mean, people have done it before, but that was one of the first like really big ventures into making that photorealistic CG. And putting it on people where they're supposed to be in a world where no one can tell the difference. And I'm like, yo, you watch your goddamn mind. We could tell the damn difference.
Yeah.
All right. And I remember specifically when he was breathing.
Yeah.
It was like cheeks like inflating and such, and the scenes looked like, and tell me if you agree or not.
Okay.
Did you ever play Fight Night? Any of the Fight Night video
games?
Yeah. It looked like in maybe Fight Night round 4 or 5, the last ones, when you'd be in the corner, you could see your character breathing and stuff. That's as far as the advancement had come. Right. So that being where we were not too long ago to this picture is astronomical, dude. And we've been kind of beating around the bush. Let's talk about the actual story.
Okay.
I dug this.
Yeah.
I was enthralled and riveted. And I mean, like, knowing the story, even still, I was like, oh, I can't. Will, how's she gonna do it? And do you see the size of this fool?
Yeah.
And she is this tiny little girl. How is she going to? Oh wow, she ripped his junk out. Well, I stand correct. I'm bugging because it was a good action movie too. That's the last thing I expected.
Yeah, I think the action holds up way better. Like, I think it's all pretty good, but like the characters, I can be a little about the story. I'm a little about the action and the.
That's because you got the heart, man. That's all it is.
I cried twice at wrestling this past weekend, so I got heart, buddy. I got heart, but like the action is amazing. Like the great choreography, very inventive. You know, I don't want to spoil any of the surprises that happen. I mean,
no, you don't have to spoil it. It's not about spoiling surprises, but it's like you got to give them a taste. It's just like I expected at the best, and I'll get off like my whole I thought it'd be a bad thing because I think I made that point. But it's like with a movie like this, you expect they're going to really tiptoe around the budget, and if it looks really good, the story's going to suffer. Or if it looks good and the story, is decent, then they're gonna space out like the actual action bits because you can only do so much. Or if the story's good and the action's good, it's gonna look like garbage. It's like they can never really be that happy medium. And I think they found the happy medium because you get the emotional story between Alita and Professor Ito, or Dr. Ito, and Christoph Waltz. You get the emotional relationship between her and the other young scofflaw that she comes across in the movie, and you actually get the interaction with other. She becomes a bounty hunter. That's no secret. Yeah. But the other interaction with other bounty hunters and other CG characters and real people, and through all that, it was fluid. And like the relations were fluid, the dialogue was fluid, the interactions were fluid. I never felt that anyone was talking to a tennis ball. Yeah. And then the action is just it's not like sprinkled here and sprinkled there and then a little bit at the end. It's all throughout. And that's the main thing I was concerned about. It's like if they do the rest right, it's going to be a lame action movie that's not going to do the original work justice. Yeah. And I thought this definitely did it justice. Yeah. Even changing parts of the story, even recasting several of the roles. I was just damned impressed. Yeah. I don't think we've seen as good an example of real acting in CGI. That's fair. Yeah. I can agree with that. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Dude, I'm gonna give this. I gotta give this a thumbs up. Yeah. Like this is it's a thumbs up. Surprising and refreshing. Yeah. To have enjoyed a picture like this. It's still not my favorite, it's not toppling the good stupid time I had watching Aquaman. Yeah, right. It's just it's just a surprise, like a very good surprise, like a very pleasant surprise. Like you didn't expect much from it. Yeah. But then it gave you way more than you expected, and that's you got to commend that. Oh, very much so. Very much so. And despite the fact that they wasted Mahershala Ali. Yeah. Despite the fact that they kind of ham-fist in a cameo at the end, which I feel was more for like shock value. It's akin to damn it. There's a movie with Daniel Craig with Dust in the Future. Dust in the Future. Clark something. It's escaping me. I don't remember. But it's akin to one of those movies where it's like they really tease, well, we're gonna have a sequel or we're gonna have a trilogy, and it's like, no, you didn't plan for that. You just you're throwing a Hail Mary. And I mean, you were doing okay. This part isn't going to work out for you. I don't think. Yeah. But the rest, I really hope the box office picks up because, dude, they earned it. Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. There's a lot of love in this movie, in the craft of it, and it shows in every frame. So. Yep. And dude, in the hidden features, that robot sex scene. Whoo! Stay to the end of the credits. I'm kidding. That's not. It's still a PG-13 movie. Yeah. Okay, so that robot dry humping scene. Woo! Yeah. That thing that Pat just dreamed afterwards because he saw it too late before he slept. That's not in the movie. Hey man, don't judge me. I'm not judging. All right, so Alita Battle Angel, 2 thumbs up from the Geek Down. Now, sir. All right. Happy Death Day to you. Happy Death Day to you too, my good man. Thank you. I'm touched. Yeah. Dude, I was excited to see this because the first Happy Death Day is a movie that kind of came out of nowhere. I don't remember commercials for it appearing a week before it came out.
Yeah, same. It just kind of came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
I didn't see it. I know you saw it on the original.
Oh, you didn't see it?
I didn't see it at first. And then when I saw the trailer for this sequel,
Mm-hmm.
I was like, that's actually very funny. I'm going to have to catch up on it, and I did. And I'm very glad. So,
All right. Someone I was going to ask you then is, as someone who hadn't seen the first movie, going into this one, did stuff make sense? Because I know a lot of it weighed on the knowledge you retain from the first Happy Death Day.
I think it would still make sense because in the first 30 seconds, they literally recap the first movie.
Yeah, but that's a lot to take in too.
Yeah, but I mean, you got the gist, and it is a sequel, so it repeats itself a little bit.
Yeah,
but I enjoed this a lot.
Okay,
not to spoil it, but yeah.
No, I mean, no, perfectly okay.
Not to spoil the thumbs up I'm about to give it.
It's okay to be you, Jere. No. You make a good point. Because it's not that complicated a story. I'm thinking, well, you got to understand the intricacies of the death and the happiness.
Yeah,
and then at the day, it takes place in a day, and there's It's not even like that. It's a slasher movie done right. Mm-hmm. And done really fun.
Yeah.
And the fact that it was self-aware is one of the main things that stood out to me in the first Happy Death Day. And then this one, I feel like it tried to do the same thing and succeeded to a degree, but it was a little more obvious and blatant.
Yeah.
The illusion was gone for me. It was tainted. Because not because I'd seen the first one, but it's at a couple of points in this, and also building off the first movie in the story, I think was good because it gets you past that whole, well, what's going on? We've got to figure out our situation business. But also, I feel like they, after a while, use it as a crutch because it starts off. At least it throws you a red herring. You start thinking it's going to be centered around a certain person doing a certain something.
Yeah. And
I started building theories right there, and I'm sitting there debating back and forth.
Right.
Well, I think this is gonna happen. Oh, word, because you're full of shit. I think this is gonna go down.
Yeah.
What? You're crazy.
Yeah.
No, you see that right? And it completely becomes what you thought it might be from the commercials.
Right. Yeah.
After 10 minutes.
Yeah. The commercials kind of spoil it because it does the first say 10 minutes or so is it makes you think that it's going to be the same thing happening to a different guy.
Yeah, that's a nice change though. That's cool. I thought it was going to be parallel fiction.
Right. And it switches over, and yes, that would have been cool on its own. I like that it goes back to the original character because you're kind of attached to her and her situation, and it gives her.
I'm not hating on it, but I'm just it's kind of the same effect of Scream or Halloween.
Yeah.
It's this person who's been through hell. And then they do another movie. It's okay, I would be perfectly happy seeing all this take place with new folks.
True.
And instead, you keep going back to the same person. I'm like, yo, give her a break. She's been through enough.
Yeah, but like you said, it's self-aware, so it's just funny rather than if that were to happen to someone in real life, I'd be like, wow, that is terrible. That is so bad. But because they're self-aware and she's some kind of badass about it, and she's just so determined to figure out this this Groundhog Day curse that she's going through. Okay,
I'll give you that. That definitely was an amusing take on it too, because I thought it might get tedious after a while.
Yeah.
But she's just in that mindset of, okay, and also we didn't break down the actual plot of this.
Right. Yeah.
In Happy Death Day, the first, a girl wakes up on her birthday. And she's going about her business. She's meeting with friends. She wakes up in some strange dude's dorm room. Apparently, she partied too hard the night before. She sneaks out. She goes about her day, interacts with people she knows, and then later on in the evening, she actually gets killed. Yeah. And then she wakes up again, and the same dude's bed, reliving the same day, and she keeps going through this cycle until she manages to solve her own murder. In Happy Death Day 2. It starts off happening to someone else, and then quickly shifts back to the original girl, and that's where my craw got a little clip there. It's just oh man, we're bringing this back, but no, you're right. The way they present her attitude now, because she's evolved from the first movie,
right?
She's no longer the happy-go-lucky / shallow and all for me, none for you. A sorority girl that she was. Now she's just as badass. Where it's she's been through this and she's tired.
She's over it.
She does not have time for this.
She's just she finds out what's happening. She just grabs a baseball bat and let's figure this out. Let's figure out the mystery.
And I like that.
Yeah,
I really like that. because it's like what I would do.
Yeah.
It gives a realistic perspective. It's like, you know what? No, man, I'm tired of all. Okay, fine. They want some static. Bring out the bat. Boom. Let's give them some static. And it added an element of, if you've seen the previous movie, even better. You're not like rehashing a lot of. You're not reinventing the wheel.
Yeah.
You can. The story has room to evolve, and if you haven't, it's kind of a neat take because again, you're not getting all this same. Well, we got to find out what's wrong in BS. Every time they had to explain the plot of what's going on, which they had to do a lot because it's all in one day, and then people forget.
Yeah.
It was just like, okay, let me tell you what's going on. Clip,
Boom.
and now everyone gets it. Great.
Right.
I'm glad they did it like that. The only thing I don't like about this, well, one of the only things, there are a few, is that they went out of their way to actually explain the first movie, and I like that it was ambiguous.
Yeah.
Before.
I have mixed feelings about that because they explain it via science, basically.
Yeah.
And I am a big
Damn nerds.
I have a weird soft spot for like science garbage in movies, like Ghostbusters or whatever, where they're just making up words and just stringing them together. Like the quantum zip-zops touched the synthetic string theories, and that's what caused this to happen.
When the molecules are in flux, you see, and the molecules are spinning it at 1.21 bloopity bloops.
Yeah.
And then they get really hot, so you got to cool them down with some cybernetic.
This laser hits the quasarks, and that makes the time go crazy. Like.
No, you're right.
I love that stuff.
It's
for
fun,
whatever reason.
It is
such a fun movie.
It's not lacking in that fun aspect, but the fact that they use that to try to give perspective on everything that happened in the first movie and that's happening now, I don't dig that because it's like Groundhog Day is one of the main influences of this picture. Now, I guess this franchise. And you never found out what happened at the end of Groundhog Day, and I think that's one of its strengths.
Yeah.
You would think that would be like one of the main frustrations,
right?
But no, it gives it like a spiritual, element, which I thought was cool.
Right.
And Happy Death Day had the same effect for me. When she finally figured out the result of the murder, of her murder, it's like, okay, well, did this somehow cause an aneurysm? Is that what's going on there? Or is she actually traveling through time? Did she die and this is her version of hell?
Yeah. You
never know, and that's cool.
Yeah.
To just like leave open for conversation. In this, they give you a definitive answer, a timeline even.
Yeah, that's true.
And what it all comes down to is, and this is the only part of that I liked, it comes down to pure stupidity. Like, you got these cats who are just messing around on some serious business, and then the one dude who almost foobars the whole thing because he's looking at porn at work or at school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On like the server that they're using to the lasers and quasars.
Oh, man. Wait, quantum porn. There's got to be a market for that.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
All right.
Yeah.
Pornhub's on the job, I think.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. VR. You just.
Oh, jeez. It's too real.
Yeah.
It's too real and too raw.
Too much.
All right. So, I mean, we've gone pretty much on and on about the actual plot itself and what happens in the picture. Dude, what stood out to you?
The humor.
Happy Death Day 2.
Yeah, the humor sticks out to me. Just like with the first one, I thought it was a very funny movie. Like, my problem with the first one is that on the surface, it looks like Groundhog Day as a horror movie, and it kind of just is that. And that's not a knock on it. Groundhog Day is a great movie. It's a great plot device, but there's not much to it, and this expands that a little bit, and that's what I liked about it, while also still being very funny and having some like great death montages and just a great. I like the lead is like a really great actress.
Yeah, she's good. I don't think I'd ever seen her in anything before.
Me either,
I believe she'd done some TV, but
probably.
This isn't. They didn't go out of their way to get Amy Adams for her acting prowess. They got someone who can be believable as kind of a. And I hate to use this term because it sounds like I'm disrespecting her. I'm not.
Yeah.
But just someone who can be believable as a vapid college student.
Yeah.
Who doesn't really think about much, besides herself. Mm-hmm. And she acted that part well. And then I believe that she grew into it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that was awesome.
Yeah, I think her screen presence and charisma carries the movie a lot of the way through all this stuff that doesn't work as well. And I'm like, okay, I'm invested in this character because she's doing a really good job. Mm-hmm. And so, yeah. That's what I enjoyed.
Yep. For me, specifically, it was the way this story plays with your expectations.
Yeah.
Because I thought that when she starts reliving the same day over and over again, that it was going to be the same story tropes, and you were going to see just new elements to the exact same stuff happening.
Right.
There's any time travel or dimensional hopping movie, they tend to do that. They tend to focus on the same story, and now you see it from a different perspective. And they found a unique way to present that this time, where it didn't feel like they were just I don't know, feeding you the same regurgitation of crap. That doesn't mean they didn't retread a good amount of ground, and that's where some of my beef lies.
Yeah.
But at the very least, they make it palatable. They make it so that it doesn't quite irk you so much, because they do amusing things.
Right.
When you find out the dynamics of her and her friend. The one that was so prominent as one thing in the first movie and is so prominent as something else in this movie.
Yeah.
That was beautiful. The fact that the actual mystery didn't go the same route and didn't, and just be looked at from a different microscope or, angle or however you want to say it. The fact that it was a different mystery that happened in the same environment. It's like they changed up the players. That was cool.
Yeah.
That was good. And that made up
Right.
for a lot of the fake outs that it throws you. And I understand they're having fun with it. I felt like they were having fun writing this. They had fun on set. I'm glad they didn't use a lot of known faces, because that would distract you from the story, which in itself is pretty ridiculous to begin with.
Yeah.
If I'm like, this is ridiculous and that's obviously George Clooney, then I'm out of it completely.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, but the fact that it's lesser known actors doing well written dumb stuff in just a fun ass story, an unexpectedly fun ass story, dude. I can look past everything that left me with a negative sense.
Yep.
Because at the core, dude, it was just a good ass time. That's what I want from a movie in general.
Yeah.
We get accustomed to going into these things with a critical eye. It's like, okay, I'm going to notice, any bad acting or shot. If anyone of the performances take me out of it, or if the story feels like it's incomplete or it's forced. I know there's studio interference, whatnot.
Yeah.
And with this, it was just no. I went in, had my popcorn. It's like, yo, I'm having a great time. What the hell kind of extra dimensional stuff is this?
Yeah.
So, dude, I give this a thumbs up.
Me too.
I can't not.
Yeah. It's a delight. This is going to be a very positive show.
This wait, no, hold on. You dropped some tidbits about WWE Elimination Chamber.
I know.
That okay, all right, then let's get into that, my
all
friend,
right.
because this man right here, Jere Pilapil, brings you WWE Elimination Chamber. No one sounds like this in WWE.
Not anymore. Yeah, we talked about this last time. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Everybody just sounds like regular
old.
guys now.
I'm old, man. What can I say? All right.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Well, so bringing you the latest on WWE's Elimination Chamber. Hey, it's Mr. Jere Pilapil.
Thank you, Michael Cole.
Shut up. All right, bring it down for us, man.
So
What's good?
the pre-show had the Cruiserweight title being defended between the champion, Buddy Murphy, and Akira Tozawa. It was excellent. That really got the crowd hyped up. All the Cruiserweight matches that make it to either pay-per-view or pre-show, go out of your way to see them. They're amazing.
Okay, I'm glad to hear that. I didn't get a chance to watch the highlights, which I mentioned earlier, and I'm upset at that because I love the high flying is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I love the cruiserweight matches because, dude, it's like these are the ones that they have the agility, going for them. It's not a bunch of burly, doing like Braun Strowman and Big Show. Is, no one's jumping more than 6 inches off the ground there.
Right.
But with these, it's like folks are climbing on ropes. There's frog splashes, all over the place. There's people airborne. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
And I was upset that I didn't get a chance to see that.
It's worth going out of your way for.
Nice.
Let's see. Then the first match of the night was an Elimination Chamber match with 6 tag teams to crown the six tag teams.
Okay.
To crown the
Not
first
excessive at all.
the first WWE Women's Tag Team Champions. And the teams were Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville, Nia Jackson, Tamina, Mandy Rose, Sonya Deville.
You gotta write this stuff down.
The
man.
Riot Squad, Bayley and Sasha, Naomi and Carmella, and the Iconics, who I always forget, but I love them so much.
All right, well, Nia Jax is my girl now,
Yeah.
so tell me she handled business.
She did until she got knocked into one of the pods in the Elimination Chamber is a giant fence thing, basically, giant cage. The second biggest cage of the big cages that WWE uses.
There's Hell in a Cell.
Yes, there's the regular old cage.
The regular ass cage.
Kind of in the middle, Elimination Chamber.
This is the world we live in where a cage is banal.
Yeah, I know.
It's like, oh, there goes a cage. Must be Thursday.
Yeah, this one's got pods, I guess, and she went into one of them. And Bayley and Sasha Banks won the titles. They're the first women's champion.
Okay, you know what? Good for them.
Yeah,
good for
exactly,
them.
Yeah.
Little upset that Nia Jax was punked like that, but you do what you got to do.
Yeah. Now they say they'll be defending them on Raw, SmackDown, and NXT, which could be very exciting in the future. We'll see how that turns out. And then this is the part of the show where I have a problem. Like the whole middle part of the show essentially is like an episode of Monday Night Raw, which is nothing
well, I mean,
too
dude,
special.
No one really goes for the undercard. They know
that.
that.
Oh yeah, I know. It's like hard to, but it does. I still do have to sit through it. You know, you're still making an audience go out of their way after you have 5 hours a week of TV, and then you're like, tune in for another 3 hours this Sunday, and then one of those hours is whatever, which is annoying. You know.
Okay, now would you still feel that way if the first two matches weren't dope?
Yes, probably.
Okay.
You know, because it is a long stretch of stuff that's underbooked. Shane McMahon and The Miz take on the Usos.
Wait, come on. How you gonna have Shane McMahon and The Miz and that be a boring match? I call shenanigans.
It was
sir.
very short. The Usos won, and there's not much to it.
Wait, they beat my man Shane O'Mac?
Yes.
Shane O'Mac?
Yeah, because he did the Shane O'Mac thing and jumped through a table.
He better.
He took him. Yeah, I know.
He better. That's what he does.
Yeah, that's what he does, and he lost. So that was quick. Ronda Rousey beat Ruby Riott in like a minute. So
really?
Yeah.
Wait, did she put like some of those like actual Ronda Rousey moves that we haven't been seeing from her?
No, just she did like the normal judo throw and arm bar that.
Well, okay, I can see that. I'm a little upset because I was hoping that she would bring some, much like when Kurt Angle came to the WWF.
And he did like wrestling.
Yeah, so it's like she would bring different techniques,
right,
and that same prowess that she had in the MMA ring.
I know it's Shayna Baszler does that in NXT though, which is nice.
All right.
But,
well, I mean that's kind of a win, but like Rousey's the one that had the big name.
I know.
She was the draw
I know what you're saying,
for new audiences, and I thought that would she was. That's a personal beef.
Yeah, I know, I get it. She's just a very good striker, is how they explain it. Let's see, and then that brought out a little thing with Becky Lynch and Charlotte, where Becky Lynch got to look awesome again, as always, beating everybody up with a crutch despite her broken leg, and then being carried away by the security and smiling the whole time. She's great with the visuals.
The groom of the championship.
Yeah,
you got to carry those. It's like at the very, look at it this way. It could be Roman Reigns.
Yes.
So
yeah. I know. I'm happy. I'm happy with that stuff. It just didn't feel pay-per-view worthy. Didn't feel like going out of my way. On Sunday.
I can get that, but it's like, did it seem like they were doing this to move storylines along?
Yeah. Which
you
got like I said, you got 5 hours a week to do this.
Yeah, but it's a practice. You're never gonna see any legitimate titles change hands in Raw or SmackDown.
True. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're more or less right. Yeah. What else happened? There was Braun Strowman versus Baron Corbin for the 100th time. That was like 10 minutes of really nothing. Eventually, Drew McIntyre and Bobby Lashley came out and beat up Braun Strowman.
Okay, now I've talked long, like endless rants about how I like Bobby Lashley, and I remember his first appearance was like coming out and body slamming the Big Show like it was nothing. Showing like
I'm a big Lashley fan too. So
but they've always like underutilized him.
Yeah.
And then they just eliminated contract and he went off and did like New Japan and stuff, and then he came back and he was gone again, came back. Are they finally using him to his full potential, or at least anything close to his full potential now?
I don't know, because it's hard to tell. Because earlier in the night, he and Leo Rush, his manager, faced Finn Balor for the Intercontinental title. Lashley was the defending champion, and he lost the title because Finn Balor beat Leo Rush So
He lost the finisher.
he lost the title without really losing, and then he just shows up later in the night to beat up Braun Strowman for really no reason. It's all very confusing and doesn't make much sense, which is part of my problem too with this whole middle part of the show.
Well, does it seem like, and this is just an opinion question, I guess, does it seem like they're possibly setting up characters for stables?
I don't know. It doesn't make sense. Because, 6 months ago or so, Baron Corbin was, the general manager of Raw. That was the storyline. He was in power, and that's why he has all these big, bad guys around him to, do his bidding and help him out, get out of these jams. Now that's not true, and it's still happening. So it doesn't. There's something missing in the storytelling that really bothers me.
Damn!
I know. And then there was a part where Lacey Evans, who's a woman from NXT who's been called up to Raw, literally just walked out and then walked back. And then there was 3 commercials after that.
What do you mean?
Her music came out.
Yeah.
She walked down the ramp and then walked back up the ramp. And
she didn't speak or anything?
Didn't speak. Didn't do anything. It's this is the kind of messiness and weirdness of the show that you're what's going on? Do they know what they're doing? They're they're the NFL of pro wrestling. They should know what they're doing. Do they? I don't know. It's weird.
Okay, actually seems like someone missed a cue.
Yeah, it was.
Did she come back out and she was wrestling later?
Nope.
Nowhere
nothing.
on the card.
This was between Braun Strowman getting power slammed and between the main event, and it was just her and some commercials for the next pay-per-view. That was it. I swear.
All right.
That was it. Yeah, it's a weird show. They,
I don't know what to say to that.
Yeah, but then what made up for all of that?
I'll come out. Yeah, I'm about to wrestle and shit.
Yeah.
Hold on, forgot my keys, y'all. Yeah, I'm about to get back in the locker room.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot the microphone. I'm just gonna go back and just go.
I was supposed to give a speech.
Yeah.
Can you all hear me in the back?
Yeah.
What? No. What? 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 I guess stop.
Yeah.
What? I'm just gonna go now. What? Now it's weird.
Yeah.
I know she don't sound like that, but you get the idea.
Yeah. So, but what makes up for all of the bad stuff is the main event, which was for the WWE Championship, held by Daniel Bryan, with his fantastic, eco-friendly WWE title made out of wood and hemp and stones.
You know what?
It's the greatest.
I like Daniel Bryan.
Yeah.
I like him as a face.
Yeah.
As a heel, I thought he'd do really good things.
Yeah.
But this whole vegan as the villain, vegan villain.
I love his heel run so far. It has been a ride. Him yelling at an audience member that he's impotent. Impotent. Fix it. It's incredible. Him being at a concession stand and telling everybody that the only concessions they're making are to their health and well-being.
I'm glad you're amused by it. It's just goofy to me. You know what it reminds me of? And I hate to be the guy who keeps going back to the old references, but it's just it's perfect to illustrate when Booker T came to the WWE.
Yeah.
He came as this ultimate badass that you knew he was because he's been this badass for 20 years in WCW.
Yep.
But as par for the course for WWE. They have to continuously switch characters' allegiances from good to bad, from heel to face, back and forth. And it was just Daniel Bryan's turn. When it was Booker T's turn, they took this dude. How do we make this hardcore dude that everyone just plain likes?
Yeah.
Well, we'll make him the king. And he's like some kind of
no, King Booker was amazing. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's what? Why is that always the go-to? It's well, I think highly of myself, and I look down on you, and it's no, just have him be a dick.
Yeah, well, I mean,
it's Brian. The concession thing is that is funny. I didn't see that. That does sound amusing.
Yeah,
but the rest is I know vegans. They're not bad people mostly.
Yeah, but it's not just being vegan. It's about being all about the environments. Whatever. He yelled at Mustafa Ali for driving an SUV, and Mustafa's but I have 6 kids. That's why I drive an SUV.
You buy them bicycles.
You're a tiny man. Why do you need such a big car? He's doing A+ character work, but. He's champion. The storyline going into the Elimination Chamber is that he thinks that no one deserves a title shot against him. But they're well, we got 5 people who deserve title shots against you, and you're facing them all at the same time.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Suck on that.
It's Bryan's in there, then Samoa Joe, AJ Styles, Jeff Hardy, and it was supposed to be Mustafa Ali, but he got injured in real life, so they replaced him with Kofi Kingston from the New Day.
Oh, I did. I saw that.
Yeah.
I saw that, yo, man. Okay, JM the Thriller Priest,
Yeah.
who's a correspondent on this show. That's his boy. They were frat brothers at B.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. So that's like the big connection between the Geek Down and Kofi Kingston.
Yeah, he's from Winthrop, Massachusetts. Yeah. But yeah, so like somehow like that substitution has just created like a groundswell of like support for Kofi. Fans want Kofi to be the WWE champion, and at the end of the match with everybody eliminated, it came down to Daniel Bryan versus Kofi Kingston, and they tore it up for like 20 minutes. 20 to 25 minutes just
that's what I like to hear.
Like my brain said they're not gonna have Daniel Bryan lose the title 2 months before WrestleMania, whatever. But
Hey,
my
man,
heart was screaming. I was out of my seat, like clapping at every near fall, just like I'm trying to will Kofi Kingston to win. I felt like being a kid again. It was amazing.
So how did my man Kofi take him down?
He did not, unfortunately. He went for a splash off the top of one of the pods in the cage, and Daniel Bryan hit him
They
with
didn't do the roll away, did they?
No.
Okay.
Oh, he did roll out of the way. But like they built it well, and then Dan Bryan hit him with the knee to the face, which, I mean, it took like 3 finishers to take Kofi down. It was really impressive, and they gave him a long outro with the New Day coming out and like the fans cheering him on, and it was beautiful. It made my heart swell. It was amazing. It was a great end to probably a mixed bag of pay-per-view, but like the best possible way to end it. The pay-per-view gets a thumbs up for me. That and the women's match and the cruiserweights before them.
Okay, you know what?
Yeah.
I can at the very least, like, you can tell I'm disappointed Kofi didn't take it.
I know. I'm hoping that is a rematch that happens at WrestleMania, man. With me in the audience screaming myself.
That'd be kind of tight. It's like Kofi takes him out hard, and then like takes that whack ass like hemp belt, rolls it up and smokes it.
I do want the hemp belt to go on fire at some point, and I can't imagine a better foil for Daniel Bryan's eco-friendly, vegan, whatever than like the New Day with their junk food and their like stupid jokes and the rainbow. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So like I want that. That's a perfect WrestleMania feud, in my opinion. I'm hoping for it, man.
I concur.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So what's the next pay-per-view?
Next pay-per-view is Fastlane.
All right.
There's no cages in this one. It's just the pay-per-view that happens before WrestleMania. There's no special gimmick to it. It'll probably be pretty good, though.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, you got to look at it this way now. It's like, it's Fast Lane where they put on the fast track to WrestleMania.
It's the road to WrestleMania, so they're going in the fast lane.
See that? Okay, you see why I don't write for WWE, because you're coming with the gold.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, well, okay, Jere, thank you very much.
Thank you, man.
All right, it was WWE Elimination Chamber.
Yeah.
Earns this man seal of approval.
Yes, it does.
All right, cool. Well, thank you all for joining us for another action-packed, fun-filled show, dude. Apparently, we love everything.
Yeah,
that's not a bad thing. I'm just like, I feel like the show got really negative.
You subtract Adam, and suddenly it's just a love fest.
Adam hates every time about why Kofi gotta wrestle so good. What you mean, Happy Death Day? What about Happy Death Night? I don't know where the negative come. A lead a battle angel. Let me see a devil. No. We wish him I hope it's speedy recovery. We wish him makes a speedy recovery, and Adam, handle business.
Yeah.
All right, and next week we will have more goodness for you. Until then, in the interim, you can check us out at geek-down.com. Also, you can find us on SoundCloud. You can find us on iTunes, Geek-Down. You find us on Facebook, on Twitter, stalk us, Instagram. Just look for @TheGeekDown or /TheGeekDown at any of those locations, man. Add us, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. 5 stars if you're on iTunes. Help a brother out. This man's got kids to feed.
And a cat.
All right, we'll catch you all next Tuesday night right here on Disrupt Boston. Until then, be excellent to each other. Peace.